Fulton Steamer Volleyball is on the air live from Stan Borgman Court here at Fulton High School. It is the start of the 2025 high school volleyball season as tonight's two rivals who used to be in the Three Rivers Conference, but in opposite conferences here tonight. The rivalry has resumed. It's Fulton playing host to Riverdale. How you doing, everybody? Robert Bertram, glad to bring you our 2025 Fulton Steamer volleyball season as it tips off tonight here at Stan Borgman Court. The fresh soft match going to visiting Riverdale. They defeated Fulton 2-0. And the Steamers get revenge in the JV match as Fulton defeated Riverdale 2-0. The two varsity squads on the court finishing their warm-ups before we get tonight's contest underway. The Riverdale Rams, under the direction of head coach Amy Mitten, they finished tied for third in the Three Rivers Conference last year at 7-3. Overall, they finished with a record of 21-11-1. The Fulton Steamers, under the direction of Stacy Gurman in her 31st season as head coach of the Fulton Steamers, 583 wins, 402 losses, and 16 ties. So she is just 17 wins away from 600 in her coaching here at Fulton High School. Steamers, of course, co-champions in the NUIC South with Eastland last year, both teams finishing at 10-2. Overall, the Steamers a year ago finishing 26-10-1. Now, this is a busy week to start off the 2025 campaign for the Fulton Steamers. After tonight, they'll be back in action tomorrow as they'll travel over to Goose Lake to take on Northeast on the Iowa side of the river. That'll be a best-of-5 match there. And then on Thursday, they'll be back here at Stan Borgman Court as the Steamers will play host to perennial power Galena in a matchup here at Stan Borgman Court at Fulton High School. So 3 games this week for the Steamers. They will not have a game next week, but again, they'll get right into it this week with 3 games. So again, the Steamers and Riverdale resuming their rivalry here. Fresh soft going to Riverdale 2-0, and the JV match to Fulton 2-0. As we'll get the starting lineups for the matchup. Fulton and Riverdale. As we're going to have our national anthem, and then we'll get to tonight's starting lineups.
Please stand for the national anthem.
So there you have our national anthem, and now we'll get set for the starting lineups here this evening in this varsity contest. Glad to have you aboard wherever you're tuning in our telecast here tonight as we tip off our 2025 coverage of Fulton Steamer volleyball and football. We'll have football action for you as well this season. 5 home games will bring you from Steamer Field. We'll have, I believe, 8 varsity volleyball matches to bring you as well. So I begin my lucky 13th season covering Fulton Steamer sports, 5th season for the live stream, and of course thank everyone here. Now we'll have our spotlight.
After Mr. Presley qualifying for my sophomore year, he was there right away with open arms. Then gives the best hugs that instantly bring me to tears. He's so uplifting and encouraging. Even though at first he made me feel like I really appreciate you and everybody. But I'm really glad I ended up. If you guys have never had Lynn as a coach, you're definitely missing out. Only Lynn would show up to practice with 2 different shoes on. I'm going to miss all the laughs you gave me. Thank you for always believing in me and supporting me through everything. You've helped me grow not only as an athlete, but as a person as well. I will forever be grateful for you.
That's Jordan Rathburn honoring Lynn Skipper.
Thank you, Jordan and Coach Skipper. And now for the starting lineups. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Riverdale Rams.
For the Riverdale Rams, it'll be number 9, Lola Wainwright, sophomore. Also number 12, Kaylee Hungate, the junior. Also number 26, Presley Willemkins, a junior. It'll be number 7, Sarah Mitten, the freshman. Also for the Riverdale Rams, number 25, Kennedy Willemkins, the senior. And the final starter for the Riverdale Rams will be number 55, Katie Cox, the senior. The libero is number 60, Cameron Kruger, the senior. And again, the Riverdale Rams under the direction of head coach Amy Mitten. For the Fulton Steamers, it'll be number 10, Avery Bush, the junior. Also, number 3, Kirby Gurman, the freshman. The last of the talented volleyball Gurmans. Also, it'll be number 2, Chloe Wilkin, the sophomore. Number 1, Belle Curley, the senior. Also, it'll be number 13, Haley Smither, the senior. And the center will be number 5, Breanne Brennan. Brennan, the sophomore. And the libero will be number 26, Jada Shaver, the senior. So that's how the Steamers will line up here. And again, the Steamers under the direction of head coach Stacy Gurman in her 31st season just 17 wins away from 600. Of course, it's the best of 3. And again, if you're just tuning in, the fresh soft match went to Riverdale, 2-0. The JV match went to Fulton, 2-0. And so now it's the rubber match, so to speak, as the 2 varsity teams set to square off. Again, the Steamers finishing 26-10-1 a year ago. Riverdale finishing at 21-11-1. It should be a good season opening match here from Stan Boardman Court. Sit back and enjoy. We're underway. There's a set on the far side, tapped over. Now the Steamers look to set, far side, Smither. And that one is going to be over for the Steamers, and an early 1-0 lead for Fulton. Now the Steamers with an early 1-0 advantage. Side out Fulton. Bell Curley on the serve. Set on the far side, tapped over. Nice block up front by the Steamers. Tapped over by Riverdale. Steamers go to work. Set up front, and it's blocked out of bounds off the Steamers. And that'll tie up the score at 1 apiece. Side out Riverdale. So side out for the Riverdale Rams. Lola Wainwright, the sophomore, to serve. To the middle row. Here's the set up front. Tapped over by the Steamers to the back row. Set on the far side for the Rams. Nice block by the Steamers. Smither far side. Now it's tapped back over by Riverdale. Steamers set far side. Smither again has it rejected back. And it drops in for the Riverdale point. 2-1 Riverdale. And it's going to lead to an early Steamer timeout. So it's an early Steamer timeout as Chloe Wilkin, the sophomore, came up a little limping on an ankle. Let's hope it's nothing too serious for the sophomore, as she looks to be one of those forces up front for the Steamers this season. So again, Steamers using the timeout. Riverdale leading 2-1 here in the opening set from Stan Boardman Court. All right, Chloe back out there as we're ready to resume. Side out for Riverdale. There's a set up front for Chloe Wilkin. Nice dig by Riverdale to keep it alive. Steamers set back row, tapped over by Gurman. Now is set on the near side, and that one's going to go down by Sarah Mitten, the freshman. And it's a 3-1 advantage. Riverdale side out remains for the Rams. Again, Wainwright serving. To the back row, dug out of there by the Steamers, tapped over. Now is set on the near side. This is Gurman getting it down for the kill. Kirby Gurman, the freshman, gets the kill. And it's 3-2 Riverdale. Serving for the Steamers will be Zoe Kunau, the junior. Left-handed serve. Nice one to the back row. There's a set up front for Riverdale. They get it over. Nice dig by Gurman, back row. Near side, tapped over. 10. Somebody's in the net. Riverdale in the net. Steamers get the point. Kunau once again to serve. Game all tied at 3. And that one's a net serve. Point Riverdale, side out for the Rams. Leading 4-3 here in the opening set. Here's the serve by Hungate. Set far side for the Steamers, tapped over. Now it's hit back to the back row. Nice dig by Gurman. Middle, tapped over by Curley. Now Riverdale sets it far side, tap down. Steamers can't come up with it. Point for Riverdale, and the Rams have a 2-point advantage at 5-3. Side out remains Riverdale. Kaylee Hungate to serve. To the back row. Steamers bounce over, and it's down for the kill. And it's a 6-3 advantage. Stacy Gurman out there said something to the official. Now he's going to walk over to the far side of the floor, chat with the head official. And they say it is point Riverdale. So it's 6-3 Rams, side out Riverdale. There's the set up front, pushed over by the Steamers. Set up front for Riverdale. Fulton can't come up with it. And it's down for the kill. 7-3 Rams. Riverdale's on a roll right now. Hungate to serve again. Just over the net. Set near side. Smither knocks it down for the kill. Rather, that was Avery Bush knocking it down. So Avery Bush knocks it down for the kill. She'll serve. The Steamers down 3. Nice serve to the back row. There's a bump on the near side. And that one's going to hit the coffin corner for the Ram point. It's 8-4 Riverdale, side out for the Rams. So just when it looked like the Steamers were going to make a run here, Riverdale side out. Kruger to serve. Serve. Curley on the bump, set on the near side. And a nice kill there going to the freshman, Kirby Gurman. It's 8-5 Riverdale, side out Steamers. As Jada Shaver comes in to serve with Fulton down 3. Here in the opening set, best 2 out of 3. Nice serve to the middle row. Set on the far side, tapped over. Steamers dig it out of there. Near side, and Gurman's shot is long over the end line. Point Riverdale. 9-5. 9-5, Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. Tapped over, no. And we're going to have point Riverdale. Makes it 10-5 Rams, side out. Side out for the Rams. Gurman. And that one out of bounds. 10-5, Riverdale. Side out Steamers. Net serve. So the net serve, side out Riverdale. 11-6 Rams. It's a serve, and it's over the end line. Makes it 11-7. And a nice serve, Gurman. makes it 11-8.
Okay,
Side out Fulton.
we were running fine. I ran up to the Steamers on the TV.
Kirby Gurman to serve once again. Nice serve to the middle row. Set on the far side. And it's going to drop down for the Riverdale point. 12-8 Rams. Side out Riverdale. Side out Riverdale. Danica Sidoris to serve. Tapped over, and it's going to be a nice block up front. 1-2 punch for the Rams. 13-8. Well, they're going to say Riverdale was... Somebody was over the net. 13-8, side out Rams. And that one's over the end line. Makes it 13-9, side out Fulton. So it's side out Fulton. Down 4. Now we're trying to get a rotation squared away on the Riverdale side. So I don't know what... We're ready to resume. Side out Fulton. Bell Curley to serve. Steamers down 4 here in the opening set. 13-9. Riverdale. Serve to the back row. And Riverdale under the net. Point Steamers. Side out remains Fulton. Bell Curley once again to serve. 13-10 Riverdale. Nice serve to the back row by Curley. Ball tapped over. Steamers can't get the dig. Goes out of bounds. Point Riverdale. 14-10 Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. And serving for Riverdale will be Lola Wainwright, sophomore. There's the serve. And the Steamers get it. It's off the hands of one of the Rams, out of bounds. Fulton gets the point. Down 14-11, side out Steamers. Brianne Brennan comes out. Coming in to serve will be Zoe Kunow, the junior. Here's the left-handed serve to the back row. Set up front. Steamers cannot get the block. It's out of bounds. Off the Steamers. 15-11 Riverdale. Kaylee Hungate to serve for the Rams, up 4. Here in the opening set. And the Steamers get it over. Riverdale gets it over. Good hustle all around. Nice rally here. Tapped over by the Rams right in front of Kirby Gurman. She couldn't come up with it. And it drops in for Riverdale. 16-11 Rams. Side out remains for Riverdale. Leading by 5 here in the opening set. 2025 season opener for both schools. Here's the set. Gurman. Now Riverdale sets it far side. Tapped over. Steamers up front. And they tip it back over. Now Riverdale sets it near side. Nice dig by Kunow. And the Steamers tap it over. Good rally here. There's a nice set up front and down for the kill. Chloe Wilkin, the sophomore, gets the kill. It's 16-12. Steamers down 4. Side out Fulton. Avery Bush to serve. And the junior serves it right into the net. 17-12. Point for the Rams. Side out Riverdale. Cameron Kruger to serve. With the Rams up 5 here in the opening set. Nice serve to the back. Steamers set near side. Gurman can't get it over. And the Rams extend the lead, 18-12. Here in the opening set, Kruger once again to serve. Here's the senior serve to the back row. Set, tapped over by the Steamers. Now the Rams get it over. It's out of bounds. Sarah Mitten, the freshman, off her hands out of bounds on the bump. 18-13. Steamers get the point. Side out Fulton. And the Steamers down 5. Jada Shaver to serve. Nice strong serve. That's tapped over. And the Steamers can't get the return into the net. Point Riverdale. 19-13 Rams here in the opening set. And Stacy Gurman is going to use the timeout. So a timeout on the court. 19-13 Riverdale by 6 here in the opening set from Stan Borgman Court. Again, the fresh soft match going to Riverdale 2-0. And Fulton winning the JV match 2-0 over Riverdale. And here in the varsity match, it's 19-13 Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. Amara Coleman, the junior, will be serving for Riverdale with the Rams up 6 here in the opening set following the Steamer timeout. There's the serve. Set near side. Gurman tapped it over. Somebody's in the net. Riverdale caught in the net. Point Steamers. Fulton will have it side out. Down 19-14. Steamers need to make a late run here. Down 5. They've been playing from behind all this set. Set up front. And that one's going to go off the hands of the Steamers out of bounds. Cox hit it for the Rams. Off the Steamers out of bounds. Point Riverdale 20-14 Rams. And they'll have it on the side out. Kennedy Williamkins to serve. Here's a set on the near side to Gurman. And that's not going to get returned. It's into the stands on the far side of the floor. Fulton gets the point. Trailing 20-15 here in the opening set. Kirby Gurman to serve. Nice serve to the middle. And it's pushed over by the Rams. Steamers near side. Tap back by Fulton. And that'll go off the hands of the Rams out of bounds. Fulton gets the point. 20-16. Side out remains Fulton. And once again, Kirby Gurman, the freshman, to serve. There's the serve, far side. The Rams push it over. Steamers keep it alive. Set it far side for Smither. Can't get it over. It's blocked. And the point goes to Riverdale. 21-16 Rams. Side out Riverdale. Danica Sidoris comes in to serve, with the Rams up 5. Nice dig by Gurman. And that one's tapped down into the coffin corner by Avery Bush. Gets the Steamer point, 21-17. Side out Fulton. Steamers within 4, chance to get closer here. Belle Curley will come in to serve. The Steamers down 4 here in the opening set. Nice serve, and Riverdale on the set. A miscue. Point Steamers, 21-18. Fulton within 3. Side out remains. Fulton, here's Curley again. Dug out of there by Riverdale. Tapped over. Curley on the dig. Here's a set up front, and that one's down for the kill. Chloe Wilkin, the sophomore. Thank you very much. Steamers within 2. 21-19. So they try to rally. Curley again to serve. To the middle. Set far side, tapped over. Near side. Steamers keep it alive. Tapped over by Chloe Wilkin again. Good teamwork up front at the net by the Steamers to keep it alive. Fulton within 1, 21-20, and that'll lead to a timeout Riverdale. 21-20. Steamers rallying within 1 of the Rams, and we'll come back after this timeout. There's the serve. Riverdale set far side. And it's off the Steamers out of bounds. So it's 22-20. Side out Riverdale. (22-20) Riverdale, side out for the Rams. Wainwright to serve. Dug out of there by Gurman. Set up front for Wilkin, and she can't get it to go down. The timing was off. 23-20, point Riverdale. Rams have it, side out. Here's the serve by Wainwright. Back row. Steamers, oh! Great teamwork to get it over, and then that one's for the kill into the coffin corner. 24-20 Riverdale. Match point for the Rams, up 24-20. Pushed over by the Steamers, and the Rams can't get the return. So it's 24-21. Side out Fulton. Steamers down 3. And it's in the hands of Zoe Kunow. The Steamers within 3. Kunow to serve. Nice serve. Mitten taps it over for Riverdale. Set up front for the Steamers. Pushed into the back row. And somebody was under the net. Going to say it was the Rams. Point Steamers, 24-22. Fulton within 2. Kunow to serve once again. To the back corner. Near side, bumped over by the Rams. Steamers set it near side. And they get the return. Now Riverdale will set it far side, and that one's out of bounds. Point Fulton, 24-23. Just when it looked like the Rams were going to pull away and win, now the Steamers with life within one. 24-23. And we're in the opening set of this best of three. So 24-23, the Steamers have rallied. And once again, they will have the serve. Down 24-23. So Zoe Kunau to serve once again. Nice serve. There's a set up front, and the Steamers can't get the dig, and that's a winner for the Riverdale Rams. As the Rams will take the first set over the Steamers, 25-23. 25-23, Riverdale wins the first match. We're going to step aside for this extended timeout. And when we come back, we'll get set for the second match between Fulton and Riverdale. Again, Riverdale winning the first match, 25-23. Back with more after this timeout. All right. We're set for match number 2, Fulton and Riverdale. First one went right down to the wire. The Rams prevail over the Steamers 25-23. Set number 2 here. Fulton and Riverdale. Side out Rams. Lola Wainwright. Wainwright to serve for the Rams. So we get set number 2 underway. Again, glad to have you aboard. Wherever you're tuning in our telecast, the first of, I believe, 8 Steamer volleyball telecast. We'll also have 5 Steamer football contests this season as well. And the Steamer's going to get it to go down. Avery Bush credited with that one. And Fulton with an early 1-0 advantage. Avery Bush to serve. There's the serve by the junior. Nice one, set near side, tapped over. Steamers try to keep it alive, can't do so. They run out of room. It's out of bounds. And we're tied 1 apiece. Side out Riverdale. Kaylee Hungate to serve. Dig by the Steamers, set up. And that one's knocked down for the kill by Chloe Wilkin. 2-1 Steamers, side out Fulton. Jada Shaver, the senior, in to serve. With Fulton out in front, 2-1. Nice one over the net. Set on the far side. And it's Fulton with a point. It's out of bounds, far side. 3-1 Steamers. Here in the second set. Nice set on the near side, tapped over by Mitten. Steamers can't come up with it. And it's a point Riverdale. Rams within 1, 3-2, side out Riverdale. And the senior, Cameron Kruger, to serve. Riverdale won a thrilling opening set, 25-23. Serve to the back row. Set near side. Tapped over by the Steamers. And Cox tries to return it over for the Rams, but it's into the net for the Steamer point. Or rather, no, that is a point for Riverdale. So I stand corrected on that one. It's 3-3 tie. Riverdale on the serve for the lead. And that one's into the net by the Steamers on the return, and the Rams have the lead at 4-3. Side out Riverdale. Kruger to serve. Tapped over from the back row by the Steamers. Tapped over by Riverdale. Nope. Double hit. Tied at 4. Fulton and Riverdale. Side out Steamers. Brianne Brennan, the sophomore, to serve. Nice serve by Brennan. Set far side, tapped over by the Rams. Steamers can't get the return. Drops in for the point. 5-4 Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. Leading 5-4 here in the second set. Coleman to serve. Good hustle by the Steamers to keep it alive, but then the hit goes out of bounds. Has it off the hands of Iris Williams for the Ram point. 6-4 Riverdale. Serve. Steamers can't get the return. It's 7-4 Rams. Side out remains for Riverdale. Now the Steamers down 3 here in the second set. And the serve, back row, set. And that one's over the end line. Too strong by the Steamers on the return. Point Riverdale. 8-4 Rams. Side out remains for Riverdale. Again, Coleman to serve. Near side, Gurman gets it over. Rams can't come up with a return. Point Steamers. It's 8-5. That puts an end to the Riverdale run. Side out Steamers. Kirby Gurman to serve. Fulton down 3. Nice serve. There's a set up front, tapped over by the Rams. Steamers get the return. Now the Rams set it, far side, tapped over. Good hustle by the Steamers. They get it back over. Now far side, tapped over by the Rams. Good volley here. Steamers push it over. Rams save it, get it back across. Now the Steamers. Gurman pushes it over. Rams set near side. Nice save by the Steamers. And they're going to give the point to Riverdale. I believe it was a double hit call. Makes it 9-5 Riverdale, side out Rams. And the Steamers can't come up with the return. Point Riverdale, it's 10-5. Again, side out for the Rams. Here's the serve by Williamkins. Steamers too strong from the right side. By Haley Smither, it goes out of bounds for the Riverdale point. And that leads to a Steamer timeout. Riverdale on a roll. They lead at 11-5 here in the second set. The Rams won the opening set 25-23. And right now, they lead the second set 11-5 over the Steamers. If you're just joining us, the Fresh Soft match went to Riverdale 2-0. The Steamers come back, took the JV match 2-0. And then here in the varsity contest, Riverdale won the first match 25-23. They lead the second match 11-5. And the Steamers can't get the return. Point Riverdale. Rams extend the lead to 7, 12-5. Side out remains for Riverdale. There's a set up front, tapped over by the Steamers. Williams credited with that one. It's 12-6. Side out Steamers. As let's see if Fulton has a rally left in them like they did at the end of that first set. Bell Curley to serve. Through the middle. Far side. Tapped over. Steamers keep it alive. They get it over. And that one's into the net. Off the hands of Katie Cox of the Rams. 12-7. Fulton down 5. Side out remains for the Steamers. Again, Curley to serve. Nice serve to the back. There's a pushover. Steamers look to keep it alive up front. That one's knocked down. Dug out of there by the Rams. They push it over. Now the Steamers, Gurman tapped it over. And it's into the net. Off Riverdale. Point Fulton. Side out remains for the Steamers. Down 4 here in the second set. Again, Bell Curley to serve. Nice serve. Far side, and that one's going to be in for the Riverdale point. Dropped into the corner. It's 13-8. Riverdale side out for the Rams. Brooklyn Peterson, sophomore, in to serve for Riverdale. With the Rams up 5, 13-8 here in the second set. There's the serve. Gurman It's into the net for the Riverdale point. 14-8 Rams. Side out remains for Riverdale, with the Rams up 6. There's a set up front, and Chloe Wilkin gets the kill. A much-needed one at that. It's 14-9. Riverdale, side out Fulton. In to serve for the Steamers will be the junior Zoe Kunau. Zoe's done a good job serving tonight. Here's the left-handed shot. Nice block up front by the Steamers, as Fulton gets the point. It's 14-10. Steamers down 4. Again, Kunau to serve. There's the serve. Nice one. Here's a hit. Oh, that one's... Hungate tried to get it over and just hit it wrong on her hand. It's a Steamer point, 14-11. Fulton within 3, trying to make another run. Kunau to serve. Nice one to the back row. And a little miscommunication by the Rams as it drops in with a Steamer point. 14-12. Steamers within 2. Again, Zoe Kunau to serve. And there's an ace for Zoe Kunau. And the Steamers within 1 at 14-13. So again, the Steamers, like they did in the first set, starting to put a good string of points together. To the back row on the serve by Kunau. And the Steamers can't get the return. And that'll put an end to the Steamer run. Point Riverdale, side out for the Rams. 15-13 Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. And Lola Wainwright, the sophomore, to serve, with the Rams up 2 here in the second set. To the back row. Gurman gets it over, and it's off the hands of the Rams, out of bounds. Steamers get the point. It's 15-14. Fulton back within 1. And it's side out for the Steamers. Avery Bush, the junior, to serve. Nice serve. There's a set far side for the Rams, and that one's off the Steamers, out of bounds for the Riverdale point. 16-14 Rams. Side out Riverdale. Kaylee Hungate to serve. So serve to the back row. Pushed up front, set up front. And the ball is on the net when the Rams were into the net. And the official calls the point for the Steamers. 16-15. Fulton within 1. Side out Steamers. Big serve here for the senior, Jada Shaver. Nice serve. Rams set on the near side, tapped over. Steamers looking for the return here. It's pushed over, and for the point by Gurman. Ties it up at 16 apiece here in the second set. Side out remains Fulton. Shaver again to serve. To the middle. Set far side, tapped over. Steamers near side, Gurman, and it's not returned. It's off the hands of Riverdale, and Fulton has come back to take the lead. 17-16. Steamers, side out remains Fulton. So they try to force a 3-game set. There's the serve. And the Rams get it over. Steamers set on the near side to Gurman, and that one's over the end line, or was it tapped? It was tipped. The official on the near side says it was tipped. Point Fulton. Now they'll call the line judges in to see. Official on the near side, it was tipped. So it is a Steamer point, and Fulton extends the lead to 2 at 18-16 here in the second set. And we're going to get a timeout, Riverdale. So it's a timeout for the Riverdale Rams as the Steamers have rallied here in the second set to grab a 2-point lead, 18-16. Riverdale won the first set, 25-23. So the Steamers looking to force a third and decisive set if they can hold on here in the second set, leading by 2, 18-16. Jada Shaver to serve. As the freshman Kirby Gurman has stepped up here late and got some good returns for the Steamers. Here's Gurman again, gets it over. Set on the far side, tapped over. Steamers still playing it, and they get it over. Nice dig back over by the Steamers, and then that one's going to drop in for Riverdale. 18-17. Fulton by 1, side out for the Rams. So Riverdale will be serving Cameron Kruger. With the Rams down 1 here in the second set. That's over the end line. Steamers point. Side out Fulton. Up 2 here in the second set, 19-17. It'll be the sophomore, Breanne Brennan, to serve. Nice serve. Pushed over by the Rams. And the Steamers can't get it over. It's a point, Riverdale. So it's 19-18. Side out for the Rams. We're in the second set. Best 2 out of 3. Riverdale won the first set, 25-23. There's the serve. Nice set on the far side of the Steamers. They push it over. Rams set it near side. That one's down for the kill by Devin Reichard, the junior. And Riverdale has come back to tie it at 19 apiece. Side out remains for the Rams. Coleman to serve. To the back row. Set far side, pushed over by the Steamers, but it's out of bounds. And Riverdale has come from 2 down to grab a 1-point lead at 20-19. Side out remains for the Rams. There's the serve. It's over the end line. Steamers get the point. We're tied at 20. Here in the second set, side out Fulton. Kirby Gurman, the freshman, to serve. With the score tied at 20 apiece. And it's a net serve. So it's 21-20 Riverdale, side out for the Rams. Serving will be Kennedy Willemkins. And the Steamers hustle to get the return. They get it over. Here's a set up front. That one's up towards us. Out of bounds, off the hands of the Steamers. Point Riverdale. And the Rams have a 2-point lead at 22-20 here in the second set. And it will be, once again, side out for the Riverdale Rams. And again, if the Rams take this set, they get 2 out of 3. and will start out the season with a victory on the road. But Fulton needing to rally here. Down 2, 22-20. Again, it's side out for the Riverdale Rams. Kennedy welcomes the serve. Steamers down 2. Fulton using the timeout. German on the dig. And that one's into the net. 23-20 Riverdale. So Steamers unable to get the return. Rams will serve once again. There's a set up front, pushed over by the Steamers. That one's tapped over for the point by Fulton. That was Jessa Reed getting it to go down. 23-21 Riverdale. Steamers side out. Big serve by Belle Curley here. Just over the net. Rams on the return. Now Steamers try to get it over. They can. It's into the net. 24-21 Riverdale. Side out for the Rams. Match point. 24-21 Riverdale. Peterson to serve. Riverdale gets it over. Now the Steamers have to return it. They do. Nice one by Curley. Keep it alive. And a nice block on the far side, but it goes over for the point. And Riverdale wins the second set, 25-21. So the Rams will take the varsity contest over Fulton, 2-0, winning 2 good battles, 25-23 and 25-21. So the Rams win 2 out of the 3 matches here tonight between Fulton and Riverdale, as Riverdale won the fresh soft match 2-0. Fulton won the JV match 2-0 over Riverdale. And then here in the varsity contest, it's the Riverdale Rams defeating the Fulton Steamers 2-0, winning by scores of 25-23 and 25-21. So the Rams will start out the season 1-0, and the Fulton Steamers will fall to 0-1. And again, no rest for the Steamers, as they will be back in action tomorrow when they will travel across the river over to Iowa to Goose Lake to take on the Northeast Rebels in a best-of-5 match at Northeast High School. We're going to have a chat with the head coach, Stacy Gurman, once she gets done talking to the players. So the Steamers, 2 more games this week. Our next telecast will be Thursday, when the Steamers will play host to perennial power Galena here at Stan Borgman Court. So that'll be our next telecast. Will be this Thursday, when the Steamers will face Galena in a cross-division matchup in the NUIC. That'll be coming up this Thursday, August 28th, as the Steamers will play host to Galena. So Fulton, again, losing here in the varsity matchup to Riverdale, falling 2-0 to the visiting Rams, as the Steamers lost the first set 25-23, and again they lose the second set as well, 25-21. But that second match closer than the final score indicated, as the Steamers rallied in that second match. And again, they fall short to Riverdale 25-21. As the Rams get the varsity victory here over the Fulton Steamers. And again, these two schools resuming their rivalry that they have, as they have not faced Riverdale. And they get the Rams back on the schedule this year. So they usually have a solid volleyball program and good competition for the Steamers. As Fulton gave it all they had here tonight to start the season. And unfortunately, not enough, as they fall to the Rams 2-0, losing by scores of 25-23 and 25-21. And joining us now is head coach Stacy Gurman. And Coach, you got to start out sometime, and what a way to start, what a team to go up against to see where you're at.
Yeah, we had Riverdale was off of our conference for off our schedule for a couple of years, and so I had requested to get them back on our schedule. You know, they're a good program, and I knew they had some good athletes coming up. I always want to start out. I want good competition,
yeah.
And even if it's a loss, it's a loss. But you can see a lot of good things when you got good competition like that. I think our girls hung in there. They didn't give up. I just told them right now, we have a to-do list. You know, you see a lot of things in your first game, and I got a big to-do list of what we need to work on. But yet, it was great to see the goods, too.
It definitely was. It was a tight first set, back and forth, and then Riverdale started to pull away. But again, the girls didn't panic, came back, got right back into the game, pushed it right to the wire, and you lost the heartbreaker 25-23, but that showed the character of this year's team.
Right. And this group of girls, they've been really fun this year, and they do everything that we ask them to do, and they work hard, and they get along, and they truly have a family love for one another. And I think in times like that, when you're down and out in the middle of the court, they're there for each other, and I think that's what really helped pull them through a lot of things tonight. Yeah, you had some good play up front, I thought, tonight as well, and obviously came up with some big serves, too. Yeah, I haven't exactly looked at the stats. I know we missed more than my liking, but, first game jitters and things like that. I think, we had some hitting errors and some setting errors and, passing errors, too. Right. We had a lot of that, just inconsistent. We knew that this season. We knew that we need to really work on setter-hitter connections. It's basically two new setters. We had Brianne Brennan last year, however, she came in a little late, to the season, and she's still young and is always new, to varsity. And we have a lot of new players this year, so they just had to find that varsity pace. On some of our defensive plays, we were a little late, just reading the hitters, things like that. And those are just things that we have on our list that we need to work on. Yeah, that's one thing. You start out this way and you see what you have to work on. And this just the start. You're back in action tomorrow across the river in Iowa to take on Northeast, and that'll be a best of 5. So give them some more game experience. Right, yeah. And Northeast is up this year too. I mean, they're going to be really tough competition for us. And we had some good things. When we had a good connection, Chloe can hit a heck of a ball. Kirby can hit a ball. Avery did really good on the outside for us, hitting out there too. And we just have to find that connection more often. Once we get that, those three kids especially are going to be unstoppable. Oh yeah. It's just that connection is just pretty inconsistent right now. And then you have the net play to go along right with that too. Get the timing down. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. You're going to get me all riled up again. I am. I know it. I will. And then Thursday, of course, you're back here again and play perennial power Galena here, and that's always a good measuring tool for you as well, going up against them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, they lost a couple players, but they still have a humongous core coming back. So we have a really tough week this week. We do. And it's fine. It's fine. I welcome that. I told the girls, I said I would rather have this competition at the beginning than somebody who's not. You know,
Right.
I mean, I want to see what these girls can do, and it's a varsity pace. You know,
Yeah.
that's just what these kids have to get used to. We have more kids on this floor this year that did not have varsity time, enough varsity time last year to even know what that pace is. So it's going to be a new experience for them.
It's one of that. With the experience comes more confidence and hopefully more wins with you. And, yeah, it's a good way to get started with the 3 games. The first 3 games aren't going to make your season.
Right. And we try to get as many of those non-conference games as we can, you know, right away, and then so then we can dig into conference.
All right, well, a good starting point here. You're losing against a good Riverdale team, but the only direction to go is up, and you have 2 good ones coming up next to get things back on track and hopefully get everybody clicking.
Yep. We're looking forward to it. The girls, you know, we'll get them out there tomorrow, and they'll have just as much energy, and we'll move forward.
All right, we'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you on Thursday. All right, that's head coach Stacy Gurman of the Fulton Steamers, who fall here in the varsity contest to Riverdale, losing 2 games to none. Losing by scores of 25-23 and 25-21. Steamers did win the JV match over Riverdale 2 games to none. The Rams won the fresh soft match 2 games to none over the Steamers. Our next telecast comes your way this Thursday. It'll be Fulton hosting Galena here from Stan Borgman Court, and we'll have that telecast for you coming up around 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. So that's going to do it here tonight from Stan Borgman Court. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Thanks to those behind the scenes for their engineering work this evening. And, of course, thanks to Fulton High School for allowing me to bring you my 13th season of covering Fulton Steamer sports. Sorry we couldn't tip off the 2025 campaign with a win, but this team's going to get their wins as the season progresses. Again, it is Riverdale downing Fulton 2 games to none tonight here from Stan Borgman Court. Until Thursday night, Robert Bertram saying so long from Fulton High School.